Hello, everybody. My name is Juan Carlos Brando. Thank you so much for joining us today one more time. It's Thursday and it's showtime. It's launch time as well, but we're in the time of the show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, and we're so excited that everything is going smooth. And if you are having a good time right now, and it's already December, so hello December, it's Christmas time, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's a beautiful song. So let's welcome the attorney Margaret W. Wong. Hello, Ms. Wong. How are you doing today?
I am very good, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And well, we're experiencing a lot of new things, new stuff this year, and I assume you're having coffee. I'm having my green juice.
Let's
Yes.
toast. Yes.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so Ms. Wong, and let's start talking about what the expectation is for this last month of December on this year 2022, and what are the changes that we're expecting probably to have on the year 2023?
Good question. Right now, things are still really, really slow, but don't give up. If you already have a DACA, make sure you get parole, because under Trump, it was taken away, and then it was like 1 year to get parole, but now parole is coming back. Number one. Number two is, if you have TPS, also get a parole, because under Trump in August of 2019 or something, no more adjustment of status under parole TPS, but now it came back. But parole went through a lot of changes, TPS, DACA, DED, so I would recommend that. But things are really slow. Don't give up. Don't think, oh, I didn't get my work permit for 9 months, it'll be died. That's not true. That's an automatic 1 year extension, because a lot of these changes, you need the law to change. Biden is only the president, which means that for him to help change, he can only do executive orders. He cannot change the actual law. Right now, the real people who are suffering is more the Indians and the Chinese, because people like us, a lot of us are very highly educated. We have bachelor's degree, we have master's degree, we have PhD degrees, we're great tennis players, chess players, and stuff like that. But a lot of us, we could not get the green card because those two countries, but not Hong Kong, not Singapore, not Taiwan, is taking anywhere between 5 to 10 years to get green card. The only hopeful sign right now is in May or June, new law came in saying that if you have that 800,000 to invest in America, and you can do adjustment of status. So for example, I came to America on a tourist visa. I saw an investment opportunity I really like, and I work with an investment company. Then you can actually adjust status with the 526 and also the 485, get yourself parole, get yourself work permit. You can travel in and out of the country and not have to worry about immigrant intent or not being able to come back. That's one of the great changes, but those are more for the rich people. It's probably not people like you and I. So these are the changes. What do I foresee in next year, 2023? Right now, I don't foresee, because the Democrats took over the Senate a little bit, but the House, we lost to the Republicans. So, but I really think for gay marriages, same-sex marriages is great, because Senate already passed something. So it takes time, to do an exercise, civil disobedience, civil rights, it takes time. But I really think in the long run, America's great. Already Biden said no deportation. And also I've seen some cases actually in Atlanta, in Memphis, in New York, that there was an arrest for domestic violence, for assault. They pled not guilty because they don't think it happened. It's just some neighbors calling. Police is not calling ICE to deport them, which is great, because in the even like in the Trump days, in the Obama days, they would ICE under secured like 287G, that secure community law. In those days, immediately ICE have a 48-hour hold or detainer. They will pick us up and we leave jail with a bond like Judge Hunsucker in Cleveland that went back to BIA in a few days. Used to give us like a $50,000 bond, 25,000. I mean, who can afford it? If I have that kind of money, I won't be here. So these are things, but don't give up. I think the law will become better.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And now that you mentioned that about bonds, I remember during the Trump administration in Georgia, it became really tough
Yes.
because people would be sent to the Irwin detention center or Stewart detention center, which is about 3 hours, 4 hours away from the city of Atlanta. So these the detainees were sent all the way there, and then the bond was $24,000 for a bond. So who can pay that?
Right.
So it was a tough time. We know that we're not living the best time right now, but at least for immigrants, it's way better than a couple of
Yes,
years.
absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And let's start by reading the questions. Haresh Patel says hi. So hi,
Hi.
Haresh.
Yeah.
If you have any question, please just write it down, and we will be happy to answer your question. And this person, Gautam, has one question here and one question later on. For EAD from TPS expired in phase, but valid till 2024 June. So for really,
Yes, you can travel because the yes, the work permit is a federal ID. Absolutely, you can travel in America before its expiration. Yes.
okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And also, this person is asking, also, can we apply for advanced parole for TPS holder Nepal
Yes.
now?
Yes, because it's automatically extended. So even though your card say expired, just file the I-131 with the reason why you want to travel. It should be approved between 3 months to 9 months. But they only give you a certain time to travel. In the olden days, they give you that 1 year of the TPS time. Now they only give you 2 or 3 months. Make sure you leave before. You can leave before, but make sure you have to come back before the expiration of that 2 or 3 months. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And it's very important about the dates here in the United States. Everything is about dates, dates, dates. You have to keep them in mind, and don't forget any terms or any court hearing that you could have, because if you miss something, you could be in so much trouble. But if you get in trouble with immigration, don't forget that you can call the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working on this field for over 45 years. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Next question we have, Ms. Wong, is when is a good time to file for work visa?
It's DACA, you can file 4 months in advance. A 751, you can file 3 or 4 months in advance. Other work permit file 6 months in advance, 180 days. And also, I forgot to mention one point on your TPS. We have a client who got TPS parole, went back to India, and now stuck in India, could not come back. And the reason is that when she came as a child, her parent got her an Indian passport, but on the application form for the Indian passport, she said is still in India because when she's already in America, she's out of status. Indian American Council would not give passport. Unlike Nepal, unlike Hong Kong, unlike Mexico, they still give you a passport. In fact, the Mexican embassy, they travel to different states every 3 or 4 months and help us answer questions, apply for passports. But Indians, they don't do that. Once you're out of status, or you file for asylum, same with the Chinese. Chinese, they'll give you a passport if you're out of status, but once you file asylum, they refuse to give you a passport. So in that case, she didn't know, so she used her passport that her parents got for her and went to India. In the olden days, it doesn't matter, you have parole, you come back. Now they're saying that you defrauded the Indian government to get that passport. So now she's stuck because India would not give her a new passport. She lied to India. America said, I already gave you your parole. You could come back, but you need your own country passport. So that's why. So make sure these are something new. Whenever you apply for passports, make sure you also don't lie to your country, because then if they are stuck at their airport, there's very little America can do for you, even though parole is granted.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And yeah, this is important for everybody who is listening to this show or watching this show. If you have any questions, please don't forget that you can just write it down. The answer is going to be absolutely free. So thank you so much for staying with us in this show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, with over 45 years of experience and also with 9 offices in the United States, in Atlanta, in Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Ms. Wong, the next question is going to be really interesting. Harish Patel, I came November 2014 to the United States. I'm right now under asylum. So after 10 years, can I be eligible for adjustment?
I think the question is, I came in November 2014, I already filed the 589, already in court. So can I still, am I eligible for 42B, the non-LPR cancellation removal? Number one, it depends on if your case is in court yet. Number two, it depends on NTA, no date and time. If NTA have date and time already in court, you would not be able to file the 42B or get the C10 work permit or win cases because you have a sick child. But if you're still out of court or your NT have no date and time, which means that the time keeps running from November 2014, and if you don't have the IH until after November 2014, there's a way to argue you're qualified for 42B.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Don't forget, the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984 for more information, or if you have any other questions, please don't forget to call 216-279-3984. The next question, Ms. Wong, is if you have American kids but you don't have American parents, is there a way that your parents can immigrate to America?
They could only do it on their own. So, for example, I have a case where the kid already, the daughter who has a PhD is already a green card holder. She's about 28 years old. She does not and is not ready to become a citizen yet. But her parents, who wants to come, they're professors in China. So because they're professors, they could also always come, especially if they're STEM, like engineering, math, they could always come on an old visa on a green card, because if they've published like a few articles, they're EB1, you don't need an employer. So the answer is yes, if they can independently sponsor. Like if they find a job offer in America, they can do a perm. I presume you're not from India, because India takes 10 years for perm, or China takes 5 years. So as long as you're not, so if you can help your parents find a job offer, they could probably come to America. If quota open on EB3, they come in about 2.5 to 3 years, but they have to come independently, but not through you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. Please, if you um, need more information about this case, it looks like a case that you could have something uh, to help your family or even yourself. So please don't forget to call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Ms. Wong, the next question is, well, the next is just a comment. Trust me, guys, you're awesome. Always forever. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Okay. I applied 2017 U visa. I got bona fide after 2 months later.
Good job.
How long would it take for my work permit?
Okay, that's a very good question. Normally, that few ways. If this case was filed in 2017, probably around January or February, because they're really giving out. So you should. So there are two answers. Number one, you got bona fides letter. I presume the reason why you didn't get your work permit is because you filed the C14, the 765, which is a C14, which is good for 4 years now. There's a Biden new law that just came out 3 or 4 months ago. So I don't know when you filed a C-14. Normally, the C-14 work permit for 4 years comes the same day as a bona fides letter. But then you need to check the receipt notice of the work permit, see was it even filed. Because under Trump, there was Trump 2017. A lot of lawyers don't file to save some money because we have a lot of clients, for example, already have a C8, the asylum work permit. So I don't want to waste another foot. In those days, it's 410 plus 85. Now it's only 410. So maybe the lawyer also wants to save you some money and didn't file it. So first thing you need to check is there a receipt notice on the 765? And you need to check the receipt notice because there are two types of work permit. One is a C-14, one is a A-19. A lot of lawyers in those days, we don't file the C-14. I lucked out because I have clients who say, Mrs. Wong, I trust you. I want you to file it. I just have to work harder to make the 400, I think it's 95 or $85. So please file it for me because that normally we include the work permit under the same legal fee. It's just a filing fee. I have other clients who said, do you mind filing it later? Because I want to save some money. But first you check a receipt notice, see if the C-14 is filed or only the A-19. If not, file it now. The work permit should come anywhere between 2 months to about 6 months. But if it's filed, you need to just go on the internet and check the CIS status. Go to uscis.gov, check the status of the receipt notice and see why it was not approved. Because you need that receipt to get the receipt number. That's what I would do. But no problem. You should get the A-14. Now, you may get the A-19 soon. Depends on where you file. If you file before January and February of 2017, U visa should be approved any day now or any months now. If you file sometime in July or August, it'll take only a few months to a year because now 2017 visas should be open. Then you get the A-19 or A-20 for your spouse, and then 3 years and 1 day after that, you get a green card.
Thank you so much, Miss Wong. And somebody here is saying hi, Miss Wong. So thank you. Okay. The next question. Well, this person is saying, I was out of status but on TPS now. My wife is waiting to her immigrant visa interview through nurse. Just recently paid the
Good question. So it depends on when your wife come to America. Because under employment-based nurse is a great case because you have an EB3 case, I-140 approved, quota open because I presume you're from Nepal, not India. EB3 open, so you're waiting. The question is, how did she come to America before she got TPS? If she's on TPS now, was she ever out of status? You're allowed 180 days. So for example, I came to America when I was 17 years old. In the meantime, I already got DACA. Now I got TPS. So you were never really out of status for 180 days. Then you can stay in America to do the 45 interview. Normally nurses, you didn't get out of status because nurses, you cannot get TPS because it's just weird. Nurses, you can get a quick green card. Congratulations. So it depends on where you're ever out of status. But I would try 485, because TPS is a status. DACA is a status. C8 is not a status. So interview is not, depends. Ohio is very fast. Ohio is taking only 4 months to 9 months. Atlanta, New York is taking maybe a year to 1.5 years. So for interview, it depends. If you go out of the country for interview, if you are out of status after the age of 18, you need a 601A. I presume you also don't have a green card, so you need someone to give you a 601A, and that's sad. But if she's never out of status, file the 45 or only 180 days out of status. And you don't even need, if you're already my client, I presume you are, just call us and I'll go through all the file for you. I'm pretty fast, so I can tell you exactly what's going on.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Don't forget that you can call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. The attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working on this field for over 45 years, since 1977. And we're about to change another year. It's going to be 46 years already, counting 47, and looking forward to see so many more years with the attorney Margaret W. Wong. Ms. Wong, this next question is when can I file for H-1B visa?
You can file as long as you're in status. You start work. You start. So the law changed. In the olden days, you cannot file until April 1st of each year. Now you can file on February 1st of each year. The company only pay $10 and get you into the lottery. So you know if you got into lottery like by April 1st, you have April 1st to April 5th to file the actual H-1B. They normally pick more numbers because I would say 3 or 4 people out of, okay, it's only like 1 out of 3 or 4 people got into a lottery. And then those people who got into the lottery, about 80% of those people will get the H-1B. Right now, you have 65,000 numbers for bachelors and 85,000 number, including bachelors and masters. In the olden days, they pick all the bachelors and then do the whatever is left over to do the master. Now the law changed. They pick the masters first. So if you have a master's degree, your chances of getting lottery is 2 times. So they pick all the masters, and then they give the numbers to the bachelors. But you start at February 1st.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And we're getting a lot of questions today, so that's interesting. And thank you so much for your time to answer all of these questions. Some of them I kind of have heard some of them before, but some others are absolutely new for me. So that shows me or shows everybody all the experience that you have. That only just reading the first part of the question, you already know the answer, and I think it just takes time to get all of that experience. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Ms. One. The next question is, hi, do you know the deadline for Venezuelan TPS extension?
Mr. Juan Carlos probably know more than I do. So do you know the DBS extension?
Let
Yeah,
me.
but isn't it automatically extended or they haven't given us yet? Because Hong Kong's
Uh,
expiring in February. That's because I'm from Hong Kong. There's so many
okay,
deadlines now.
I
Just go to
promise I can
USCIS.
check.
Yeah,
I
just
can
go to
check.
uscis.gov. It's all
Yes,
there. Yeah. Mhm.
and there's another person asking. Please, do you know of companies that recruit internationally for
Yes.
immigration?
Yes, most of them do, even though they don't like to say it, because on on the application form they always ask, "Do you need a sponsor?" Sometimes you just say yes, then they ignore you. I know in Ohio, nationwide, stopped getting green cards or even do H-1B. Um, um, Quite a few companies in Ohio doing it. But right now they're also opening up, like University Hospital will not do H-1B, also don't like to do green card, but Cleveland Clinic does all of them. So it depends. You just have to go to an internet and call the HR department. But it should be the other way around. I think the reason why you ask this question is because you're looking at what company should you apply so you don't waste time. I also, a lot of my contemporaries, because we're in the 70s years, I'm 72 years old. So I think it should be the other way. I think if you like the job, apply for it. There's always exceptions. And the reason why they don't like to sponsor H-1B anymore or green card anymore, because they felt they have to pay lawyers, they have to file all the filing fee. Just the H-1B filing fee is $3,000 or $4,000. And then people quit after they got the green card. So I think for now, I would apply to jobs. I mean, I remember applying for 100, 200 jobs until I got one job. Just keep applying and don't be discouraged. It's their loss, not yours. Right now, there's a big shortage of American workers. So even though on the form they say we don't sponsor, try it. If you know friends, ask them to refer you. I know people do exceptions. In the earlier days, most banks don't do it because that's why they go, even Microsoft, those companies, they use recruiters to do H-1B. Then they sign a contract with the recruiters to use their H-1B people. Nowadays, most of these big companies, small companies, they're all doing it now. Amazon does it, but not so much on the low level.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And yes, I already got the answer. So
Thank you.
the TPS was automatically extended for 18 months, but to re-register, the deadline was until November 7th. And
Yes.
people that re-register may receive a new EAD card with a new date, but not all of them or not all of us are going to receive the EAD
Right.
card.
That's why I keep emphasizing whoever qualified should apply, because what this November 7th passed, so if they do not extend re-registration and you never file for it, which you won't get it, because re-registration means that I either did not do it the first time or something happened that I did not do it the second time. So that's why I keep saying, because TPS is 821D form and also 765. If you already have a C8 work permit, you want to save some money, don't do a second 765, but do the 821 because that will give you the registration. So one day if you need it, you don't have to do re-registration and late register. This is a hassle to do those late registration stuff.
So, Ms. Wong, if the person registered the first time for the TPS and it got approved for
And
that
it's
person,
automatic now. Right.
so they don't have to
No,
re-register.
no.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's automatic, right? That's why automatic. That's actually very nice. Under Trump or even under Obama, they make you pay. So you have to pay for the TPS, and you have to pay for the work permit. Now automatic. Sometimes it creates a problem because smaller towns, the driver's license, they don't understand the driver's license bureau. They don't understand automatic. But you just have to show them, the printout. But most driver's license places, they accept automatic, which means you don't have to pay all the high fees, wait for 3 to 6 months. You still get a driver's license, your boss still protect your job.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Do we have time for one more question?
Yes, I do.
And most questions today are coming from YouTube channel. So that's awesome.
Interesting. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we had a little issue yesterday with the transmission on Facebook, but it was on Facebook end. Today we received an email saying that the issue that we had on the transmission yesterday was because of Facebook. No, it was not because of us. But anyways, if you want to see the whole show from yesterday, you can go to the YouTube channel in Spanish for the attorney Margaret W. Wong, and you will see the whole show because we're transmitting on Facebook, but also on YouTube as well. Okay, Pelo says, "Hi, Ms. Wong. After getting asylum, should I wait to have my green card before applying for
No,
my foreign spouse and
the
child?"
fine. Anytime you get the final grant, and sometimes final grant takes another few months because they need your fingerprint to be cleared. Once you get the final grant, either from court, which is only 1 page, or from USCIS, which is about 3 pages, you do the 730. Don't wait for your green card because once you get the green, it's just more complicated. Do the 730. 730 should be approved between 3 months, 9 months to 1.5 years. It's very easy. So you have 2 years to apply because we have a lot of clients who didn't know they only have 2 years. Like you, they think, oh, I need to wait for my green card. Because a lot of these marriages also because it's more common law because different countries have different ways to get married. In the Muslim countries, they just have a mosque marriage. They don't have that court thing. So absolutely do the 730 now. Don't wait. And congratulations on getting your final grant.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And okay, so this person was saying I-130. No, no I-130. It's 730
730.
is the one that you have to
Right.
do.
I-130 will take about, because if the kid is here already, you can do I-130 if the alien is legal. But most of these people, like us, we come first and then we bring the family because we didn't have money to bring the whole family. We can congratulate you to 730, no I-130. I-130 means you already have the green card, you have to take another 3 or 4 years. Do the 730 now. The nice thing about 730 is they'll come right away. You don't even need to go to the National Visa Center to fill out stupid forms. It goes straight to the American Embassy. But on the other hand, though, it's weird because they're not supposed to ask for your reason that it was a final grant. Like in China, we have one-child policy, we're following Dong. That's a lot of reasons, right? So they're not supposed to, because what does your husband know or your spouse know and the children know? How did my wife or my husband got my asylum? They're not supposed to ask. But I've seen cases where they asked and the answer was wrong, and then they got denied the entry, but they're not supposed to ask. So be very careful of that. But if they ask, a sort of your husband or your spouse or your 21-year-old kid um, needs to know sort of what happened to you, because you don't want to say, oh, nothing happened to my mom. She's happy. She just went because she wants to bring all of us to America. And that is a problem because you want asylum. The next thing is, as long as time of the filing of the 589, the kid is under 21 or one day under 21, even though now it's been 3 years, the kid now is 24, 25 years old. As long as time, that's a ceasefire law. Be very careful with that. As long as filing of your own 589, the kid is under 21, and or somehow you are divorced, he's still your kid, do the 751. Don't stop. Because we have a lot of guys who didn't know, saying that, oh, the kid now is 25, 26 years old, 30 years old. I need to wait for my green card and sponsor him. But by then he's married, you take him up. Oh, it's just aggravating. So look at that date. That was a new law that started 15, 20 years ago, but most people didn't know that.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. We have a couple more questions that are very interesting, but our time is up 7 minutes ago. So we're gonna keep your questions for next show, next Thursday at 12:30 Eastern Time in the United States. And please don't forget to call the phone number 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Ms. Wong, thank you so much for your time. Have a good lunch if you are gonna get lunch, and thank you so much for all your answers. Thank you. And you don't forget that the attorney Margaret W. Wong has been working on this field for over 45 years. And if you have any questions, please just call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Offices in 9 cities of the United States: Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is just one: 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984.